Mataji. Let's start the meditation by collectively just taking a few seconds to gather our attention, to just put our attention inside on our central axis and just open our awareness, the global nature of our central axis, the cosmic nature of our central axis. Let's do a collective namaskar with that realization. Collective namaskar in Kundalini.
That is conditioning me. So the Mahalaxmi principle, which is for your ascent, has to be used mainly for your ascent. This is to be understood that we are going to keep our Mahalaxmi principle awakened. Because it's this principle which has brought you to truth, to totality. And if you want to really go ahead, if you want to go ahead with your ascent, then please remember that the most important thing is to look after your Mahalaxmi principle. When you realize that Mahalaxmi principle is the most important thing for you, you neglect all other things. Then to you the most important thing is Mahalaxmi. You always try to keep your centers clean, you meditate nicely, you put the Kundalini up on the fontanel bone area, and all the time you are watchful about yourself. With this kind of understanding about yourself, you can perfect yourself in Sahaja alone. It is not necessary for you to give up anything, to renounce anything, to run away from your family, nothing. But you have to grow yourself. so powerful in your compassion and in your spirituality that there will be no obstruction to whatever you want to do. In the Mahalaxmi principle, there are certain cautions we have to take. One of the cautions is that when you come to Sahaja, you should not think that uh, why shouldn't I be a leader? You see, sort of, why shouldn't I be something great? And this competition then starts, and you are brought down from your Mahalaxmi principle to some sort of a power grade. So, this development, the strength within, when it starts manifesting, you have no doubts about yourself, you have no doubts about anything whatsoever. So you reach such a pure state of consciousness where nothing can spoil your consciousness. And you become so original about everything. You become so dynamic and so original. Whatever you do or whatever you say, people are impressed by that. So all the principles of Mahalaxmi must be understood fully well. Also, I have to say that once your Mahalaxmi principle gets all right, everybody in the family or in your circles, everybody feels that this is some sort of a different personality. All your gestures, all your behaviors, everything automatically changes. I don't tell anything anywhere, it just changes automatically. And then you develop a personality which is very congenial with Sahaja. What I mean, that you select things which are congenial to your Sahaj living. So this Mahalaxmi principle is the one that gives you the ascent on, and the Kundalini is kept up there. But when again the Kundalini sometimes goes down, you should know that there is something wrong with your Mahalaxmi principle. That's why it's coming down. Of course, the collective helps you. Of course, all pujas help you. But it's your complete understanding which is very important. Because it's a very subtle body within you. It can get disturbed by any small thing. When I meet some of them, I'm surprised that there's a little thing that has come in between, like the father had a guru or some sort of very small thing, and it spoils the. Say now, a little thing goes into your eyes, you cannot see anything. It's a very subtle thing. So you have to be watchful. Why? Why my vibrations are not okay? Why do I feel my agya or my nabhi? Why? And logically you must find out what's the matter. I mean, of course it is for your benevolence, for your joy, for complete transformation, everything the Mahalaxmi principle is there. But something small is not there, and that's why you are not getting your doubtless awareness. For example, once you have your doubtless awareness, you know that you are just like a barometer, and if you are catching it is just giving you information. And you are not identified anymore with doubts about it. And most important thing to you becomes the flow of vibrations all the time. That's the most important. Yeah. This is the state where I say you are doubtlessly aware, where you have no doubts about yourself, about Sahaja, about the knowledge of Sahaja. But in some people, this ascent is very fast and they keep it, they have maintained it. But in some people, it's very slow. They get disturbed by small things. Like some Sahajogi, supposing he has money in the bank, and pesotas have fallen. Immediately he becomes as if something the whole earth has fallen down or what knows what happened. That time one should know that no, I am not yet a Sahaja. I am not on doubtless awareness, because such a person will just laugh. There must be something in it. Must be I was playing with money and doing all these nonsensical things. That's why. That is the sign of a Sahaja who is doubtlessly aware. And everybody knows that he is like that. You don't have to ask for certificate. Everybody knows that this man is now a gone case in Sahaja. In that state, then you find everything works out. Just so many miracles that you're amazed how these things are working out. And these miracles go on happening to you, and then you start thinking that, see now, why should I worry about anything? After all, everything is worked out for me by the divine power. Why should I worry? You meet the right person at the right time, and the right things happen. But when you forget you are a Sahaja, you still go on fighting, saying bad things, cannot adjust in collectivity, all kinds of nonsense. You just don't know how to manage your principle of Mahalaxmi. So the principle of Mahalaxmi is that you are very gracious, you are forgiving, you are not distant, but you are very anxious to help others. You are never tired doing good to others, and you never ask for any reward. You don't watch your watches. Time is at your feet. So you go beyond time, you go beyond your gunas, and you become a personality which is something so unique, which not only gives joy to yourself but to everyone. Now see the beautiful nature around you. It's so beautiful that I'm getting meditative all the time. It's so joy-giving. If you can see and absorb that joy that is in the nature, it's like a picture, beautiful. Then you are nourishing your Mahalaxmi. In small, small things, you should see the beauty and the joy. And in small, small things, what others are doing, you should find joy. It's a kind of a very beautiful mind which is as if creating joy. It now, when I came here, I saw this one. I felt very joyous to see even this. I don't know why. Once I had gone to a place called Paritana, which we had to walk about miles together up on the hill. And my son-in-law and my daughter both were absolutely tired, in fact. And there were many temples, just empty ones, marble temples, they just laid down there. But I saw beautiful elephants with different tails, you see. Every elephant had a different tail. So I said, see what beautiful work they have done. Every elephant's tail is differently twisted. So my son-in-law said, Mommy, we are dead. Where are you going to see this elephant? So this is the difference, that you never feel tired. In every leaf, in every grass blade, in the sky, all around, you feel there is joy. And when you are alone, you are enjoying yourself. You are never bored and you never bore anyone. But if you are not all right with your Mahalaxmi principle, then such people are very difficult. I feel sorry you have to ask them to get out of Sahaja Yoga and this and that. I don't like it. But what to do? So please, we must remember that we have to nourish our Mahalaxmi principle, which has given you the seeking, which has brought forth your realization because the Mahalaxmi, only through the Mahalaxmi, the Kundalini rises. In the temple of Mahalaxmi in Kolhapur, I asked him, why are you singing the song of Jogwa, of Abba? They didn't understand. They didn't know. You can understand that it is in the Mahalaxmi temple of yours, the Amba is the Kundalini which rises. So your Mahalaxmi temple is not limited to yourself, but is the whole universe. If you can enter into the essence of that Mahalaxmi principle of everything, the whole thing is nothing but joy. Today I am very happy that in Spain we are having this Mahalaxmi principle by which people will now divert their attention from material nonsense to spirituality. Like every man has one car and still he wants to have another car and wants to have another car, and there's no room now for anywhere to keep them. They'll have to put them on their heads. So these things are never joy-giving. You know the principle of economics, they are never joy-giving. They are never satiable. So we turn to spirituality, and where we find complete satisfaction. Everything is vibrant with joy. But if the instrument of your Mahalaxmi, Sushumna, is not clear, your heart is not clear, then there is no music. As you know that through this only you get your creativity, everything. Your poetry, righteousness, your peace, everything you get through your central path of Sushumna. So, it's so important that Mahalaxmi came on this earth. First as Sita, then as Radha, then as Mother Mary. And that the joy of motherhood they give you, that you are protected, you are nourished, you are loved by your mother, which is the Mahalaxmi. Ultimately in the brain, she becomes Viratangana. Viratangana she is called as. Means the power of Virata. So many things I can say, but about Mahalaxmi principle, I think for today that's sufficient. I hope you will meditate on that and keep your Mahalaxmi Tattva expanding. May God bless you.
Que Dios los bendiga.
By Socrates. We can say Socrates was the one primordial master after Abraham and Moses, who really made it very clear-cut understanding about spirituality. Of course, Moses and Muhammad, Abraham had different problems. Like Abraham had problems of talking to people who were really very, very ignorant. And Moses had problem with people who were very indulgent people. So he had to pass laws of Shariat. Moses passed the law of Shariat. And if you read Bible in the, I think in the first verse only it is written about Shariat. In the Irmaya, third book of Bible, that Moses had to pass these laws, different laws, to make people follow religion precisely. So he did not argue. He did not say why you should do it. Didn't give an answer. You do it like that. Because he thought these people are so ignorant that you cannot leave it to their freedom. That you understand this, or that you see the point. He could not do that way. So he just said, all right, these are the laws, these are the things, and you have to follow. If you don't follow, then you will be killed, your hands will be cut, this will happen, that will. Because the people were of that time. Now then you see how gradually, at the time of Socrates, people had evolved. They were much better people. So he could talk to them about something of wisdom, of honesty, of righteousness, of peace, of so many things he talked. And he could talk because people were worthy of that. Otherwise, he could have said, all right, you do this, you do that, you do that. But see the difference also in the circumstances, how what has happened. In the first circumstances, when Abraham had problems, then the people were absolutely good for nothing. Absolutely good for nothing. So he didn't know what to do with them. So only you can see in the time of Abraham that his own lifestyle is, that was just a system where the family was building up and the relationships were building up, and he tried to work it on that level. Then at the time of Moses, people evolved much more. They evolved, but still very ignorant. So they evolved to this point that he did not have to talk the things that Abraham talked. So he talked to them about getting out of Egypt, taking their freedom, getting out from there, and going to a place of more tranquility. But when they did that, he found these people on the way. When he went to get the 10 Commandments, when he came back, what he finds, are you sure this is what you... Must be somewhere. It's all right, it's upside down. I think people have issued this. So the people who were at the time of Moses, when he had gone to get the 10 Commandments, started indulging into very, very immoral character, extremely immoral character. They were very immoral and were doing such horrible things that nobody can believe that anybody who tried to escape from the Egyptians were worse than the Egyptians themselves. So he gave this Shariat to them to change. Now then came the time when people were, despite all that, people were not so good, we can say, at the time of Christ. But they were not so immoral. They also could not understand Christ. So you see, despite all the human evolution, the human awareness evolving, the understanding about spirituality was very poor. And you could not talk to them. Now you can also see the circumstances of things. When the circumstances are such, like at the time of, say, Moses, that people are extremely immoral, they are doing all kinds of bad things, they are not bothered about their own destruction. The incarnations had to move absolutely to the right, because they were so left-sided. So the incarnations had to move absolutely to the right and say that if you do like this, this we'll have to do, the violence part. So they took to violence. So the circumstances made the reactions of the people. also the awareness of human beings. So many things worked it out. You are independent. You must stand on your own character. You must stand on your own understanding of things. Instead of ruining your faces, you should try to improve them by your dignity, by your understanding. Now, it's more on the women. I'm sorry to say, Lakshmi Puja is more on the women, that what they have to understand, what they have to be, how they should be. I have always told you that it's necessary for a woman to be dignified, very much more than the man. Man can be stupid, doesn't matter, you see, doesn't matter so much. But women have to be dignified and sensible. And men, as it is, don't know much, as you know that very well. Poor things, they are they are educated only in the universities. But as far as the practical side is concerned, they don't know anything. So, one should not uh, feel bad about it. I mean, it's very enjoyable to see the way men make mistake and then they go on saying, no, I know this, I know that, and they don't know anything. So, but man will never say, I don't know. You see, that's his character. It's all right. You must know that he doesn't mean it because he really doesn't know anything. Also, in art, I don't think men know much about art. And also, their one side is missing is aesthetics. Poor things, they make one type of clothes wear all throughout. Just one type of dresses they will make, and that they'll make and wear throughout. They don't have any demand. But women are artistic. And if our Indian women give up wearing saris and take to jeans, where will the villagers go? Because they live with the saris that they make during holidays and things like that. So in India it's not possible to introduce all these dresses. In the school maybe, but later on they all give up because they like saris. So the saris are still on and will be on because it's so artistic, it's so beautiful. One sari doesn't look like another sari. So the idea of beauty and the idea of art much more with the women, not with the men. And so one should see that if men don't know, doesn't matter, but you make your houses absolutely artistic. Make it comfortable, like the lotus, as I said, that should be such. But some of the ladies can be very much like Hitler, in the household, very dictating, this should be like this, that should be like that, making the life of men absolutely miserable. I've known a person who used to carry a newspaper in his house. So I said, why do you carry it all the time? He said, whenever I sit, I put the newspaper first and then I sit. Why? Because if it is spoiled a little bit, my wife will shout at me. I said, why? Because she doesn't like anything to be spoiled. So she's so particular. I carry a newspaper always with me. Wherever I have to sit, I put the newspaper. I said, it's too much. He said, you will also have to do that, I tell you. So very particular about the whole house, that it's impossible to live in that house, is even worse than a hospital. So some women can be very particular about that and very methodical, could be. But normally, women should be very loving and extremely accommodating and also being friendly with all the family members, with everyone. It's very important that our family is so big. We have a very large family, so many brothers and sisters, and everybody one better than the other. It is so remarkable that everybody has a different type of a perfume, I think, or a kind of a fragrance that shows an individual personality in them. Despite that, they are also nice and so good, so accommodating and so much enjoying, that it's remarkable how people live together. Especially in Russia, I found the women are very adaptable and very humorous. And they were making fun of everything and enjoying life. Very surprising, we had taken presents for them. But we had taken for about 2,000 people, but there were 16,000 people. So how could we give these presents? So the women took out their chains and they said, all right, we'll give it to men, all right. We'll give them our ear tops, all right. And they were making fun of men who were feeling bad that they couldn't get anything. Such fun, such understanding. Because they are not so money oriented, I think, and they are very spiritual minded. So a spiritual woman wouldn't bother about other things like this and will keep a dignity of her own and will show by her every gesture that she is spiritual. This is something so sweet. As I was telling you, on one side, sometimes you feel little different. Say, I said it about Japan. But in the same Japan, when I went there, I liked their tiles very much. So they were building up something. I liked the design of their tiles. So I said, can I take one from here? No, doesn't matter. We'll send it to your ship. And on the ship, a big load of those tiles arrived. And the captain asked me, now what are we to do? I said, how did you get it? He said, they brought it to you, all kinds of varieties of those tiles. Can you imagine? So on one side it is a way of expression, on the other side is different. So one should understand also, when somebody gives you something, you should understand what is the significance of that, and not to feel bad about it. The significance of that could be very much great, you may not understand. So better to ask why they have given you these things. That is what we call auspiciousness. One of the great qualities of the Lakshmi is that it should be auspicious. Whatever you give should be auspicious. Like sometimes I have seen little children out of mischief will bring a lizard and try to give you. I mean, it's very inauspicious to do that. But they are not told that it's inauspicious, so they are doing like that. They are to be told it's not auspicious, it will not please the goddess. So that has to be understood very well, that you should not try to insult the Lakshmi by giving something which is wrong. If you don't know, you should find out and do it properly. In this way, this is the Diwali thing, but the greatest message of this is that the kingdom was given to Sri Rama. Sri Rama was the embodiment of justice and fair play. And this was given to him In the same way, we have to feel that our expression of gratitude, our expression of love should be such that it should be given to a person who is a symbol of such greatness like Sri Ram. It's a very, very subtle thing one should try to understand. If you don't want to give, you should not give. But if you want to give, then you must give something which is worth the person whom you are giving.
Sahaja, Shri Adi Shakti Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devi, Namo Namaha. Let's start the meditation by putting both our hands on the floor. And while putting both our hands on the floor, attention is above Sahasrara. Attention is on our axis, our central axis, our Mahalaxmi axis. We just put the attention there and feel the huge, powerful axis, which is infinite, which is pure light, pure vibration, which is also Mother Amba, the Kundalini, primordial Kundalini flowing. With that awareness, we also realize that whenever we have our attention above Sahasrara, and whenever we are truly collective, because when we put our attention above Sahasrara, we just go into the collective awareness. We become one with the complete Sangha. We become that huge primordial being, which is the pure Virat form. Let's put our attention on our Sahasrara, on the collective Sahasrara, and just watch Mother Earth absorbing all the heaviness in us, all the imbalances in our channels, all the negativities, the possessions, the heat from our left side, from our right side, from central channel. Let's watch and watch and watch by keeping our attention very high above Sahasrara. No effort, no effort, no right side, just surrendering and being witness. Shri Ganesh mantra. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Shri Adi Bhumi Devi Mata Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Adi Bhumi Devi Mata Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Now, left hand on the lap, left hand on the lap, right hand still remains on the floor. Let surrender the whole left side and the superego, all the possessions, all the badas of the left side, all the attacks on the left side are surrendered. Let's try and be really collective. We need to reach that level where we are completely collectively. And when we feel the true power of the divine manifesting, Shri Mahakali Bhairava. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahakali Bhairava Sakshat Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Let's try and feel the presence of Mother and her energy clearing our left hand and our sasrara and the whole left side. Left hand must become cool, completely cool, because it is completely, left side is completely surrendered to Devi. Let's try and feel the coolness in left hand, feel the energy of Adishakti clearing our left hand and bringing all the coolness in the left side of the body. Let's focus on the right side. Right hand on the lap, left hand over the shoulder. Right hand on the lap, left hand over the shoulder. Complete surrender of right side. Complete surrender of ego. Complete surrender of mind, of all the thoughts, of all the actions, reactions, and all the badas and heat coming and in our right side. We just drop everything at the lotus feet of the Devi. And let's try to feel the coolness and the energy of the Devi coming into our right hand and cooling the hand, cooling the right side, absorbing the ego and the mind. focus on putting both hands on the lap and really putting attention on the central axis, on the Mahalaxmi axis. We just leave the attention up there above Sahasrara. At the same time, we are conscious of the whole central axis, which is infinite. We are also conscious of Mother Kundalini, which is going upside, upward, enlightening the whole central channel. Let's try and just open our awareness to the primordial nature of Sri Mahalakshmi and Sri Adi Kundalini. It's very important that we open our awareness to the primordial nature, the bigger nature, the cosmic nature, the higher nature of Sri Mahalakshmi as central channel, central axis of our ascent, of our growth, and also Sri Adi Kundalini. Complete surrender. Where is our attention? Where is our attention? Let's try and really focus on central axis, central channel, Mahalakshmi, primordial principle, Mother Kundalini. Let's try and truly be collective and forget about our own self, dissolve into the ocean of vibration, of awareness, of purity, of vibrations. Let's finish our meditation by doing a small attention exercise. When focusing on Mother Kundalini above Sahasrara, we feel the huge surge of Kundalini as we are collectively in Sahasrara, in the collective Sahasrara, and we express collectively the desire to spread that energy into the five elements, also onto Mother Earth, onto whole humanity, onto all the yogis of the world. We spread the energy of Mother Kundalini above the collective Sahasrara where we are. We spread it into the five elements, into the Mother Earth, all humanity, all yogi. We spread it until we feel that there is a rain of vibration, rain of pure vibration. Let's have a strong and collective attention, spreading, spreading, and spreading the pure vibration of Kundalini. While spreading the energy, we go higher, we go beyond duality, beyond good and bad. We go into the absolute, which is pure joy, pure bliss, pure vibration, pure consciousness. We continue to spread while our attention goes higher, wider into the divine realm, which is beyond our gunas, beyond good and bad, beyond duality, where it is the realm of all the devas, of Adi Shakti, of purity, of chastity, of innocence, of pure vibrations, and where all the miracles happen spontaneously. All the Sahaj is the norm for everything. in that realm where we are, with our attention very, very established in the kingdom of heavens, let's surrender our heart, open our heart to the true nature of the Spirit. Let's surrender all the sorrows, all the sadness, all the bad emotions into our heart, so that only purity can be established. Our heart must radiate like 1 million of suns in one, of pure bliss, pure joy. Our Kundalini is shining, rising high in the central channel, putting us into the kingdom of heavens. Our heart is also shining, radiating of the pure spirit, pure unconditional love, big, huge heart which contains Adishakti herself as the spirit. Our heart is as big as the creation and bigger as the creation to contain Adishakti, to contain her divine feet. Before finishing the meditation, let's collectively have the wisdom to surrender all the loads, all the difficulties, all the problems in our lives to the divine, to Paramachaitanya, to Sri Mahalaxmi. Let us just free ourselves completely. We should not worry about anything. We should not think about anything. We should just be free. We should just be happy. We should just be full of joy. And let everything go away, dissolve into at the lotus feet of the Devi in the collective Sahasrara. We just allow everything to dissolve. We try not to hang to anything. All the heaviness, bad as everything is just released completely, complete release of everything to Paramachaitanya so that Paramachaitanya can manage everything for us. collective Namaskar, Kundalini, with the full awareness of our own divinity, collectively, individually. Complete Namaskar and Kundalini.